Good morning. Happy December 26th. Hopefully everybody made it through the holidays. I'm here a little bit early, so let's grab a foam roller and just get going. So it's funny because for me, way back in September and October, kind of the end of the summer, always signifies the start of the new year. I always want to get a good jump on the competition and start all the New Year's stuff and what I'm looking forward to. We'll start that back in September, October. But then when now really arrives, like December 26th, you're like all the things, all the possibilities for 2023 and that opportunity to be better and to be more and to be faster and to be healthier and to be stronger. They all exist, all the possibilities. And so those of you that are joining me today here on December 26th, you're still early. And there's still so many possibilities. And every single day is a possibility. So we're really, really excited because the foundation of all greatness really starts with really good health and really strong physical competence and how you're feeling. And obviously not everybody has the opportunities because they have different challenges. But if you're healthy, or if you're on your way to healthy, or if that's just your goal, then you're in the right place. So everything from world champions, we're going to crown a bunch of new champions in 2023. People are going to make the Olympic team for 2024 for the summer. And so many things, so many dreams to be made come true. So it all starts today. Working with just a little bit of foam roller. The foundation here is down at the bottom, the lower leg, and just how the ankle has the opportunity to move. So using the foam roller right below the calf muscle. This is my friend Bert, and I am taking care of Bert for the holidays. Bert belongs to one of my coaches and good friend, Kate Ligler, and Bertie is just a great companion, and we have had so much fun hanging out. So this is Bert. Bert will kind of wander in, wander out. And I think her full name is Roberta. So she's awesome. Yeah. All right. So we're just hanging out, working just below the calf. And then from there, let's go ahead and go right onto your back. Let's keep this other leg bent. It's going to make it a little bit easier to get into this position on your back. And all we're going to do from this position is floss through the foot. So just moving through the ankle. Bert. No. There we go. Moving through the ankle. And that felt pretty good. Other side, keep this leg bent. It's a little bit less intense. We're just going to floss through the foot. And that feels pretty good. So when you floss and you don't feel competent as you move through the foot, like your foot is all over the place, then I would go back and redo the lower leg. So let's go sit on the foam roller, work the lateral part of the left hip. And just nice and easy, you can use your arm to kind of unweight yourself here. And you're working right outside the head of the femur. This is the femur, the big bone in the upper leg. And it has a connection point for many, many muscles. There's lots of intersections of muscles out here. So if you've got an IT band issue and you've been foam rolling the heck out of your IT band and you finally figured out that probably isn't going to work, then get above it and start working above the IT band. And now hips are stacked. We're working all the way lateral to the hip bone and just working through that outside portion of the pelvis and outside of the hip bone. And that muscle up there is called TFL, but there's also glute max can come up in there and glute med as well. Not all bodies are the same for sure. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're going lateral aspect of the right hip. Right, Bert? Bert's 3. There we go. Just working the outside of that hip. And it's a little bit spicy. It's a little bit pinny for me. Had a good bike ride yesterday. Did a long hike with Bert. And then today is a run day. So I'm starting into my new schedule. I've got a lot of coaching responsibilities and coaching goals in 2023. You're included in that if you're watching. So my personal achievements as an athlete are kind of taking the back burner, but I got to stay fit and I got to do a lot of speed work because I'm a little bit of an older athlete and I don't want to lose it. So just because I'm not racing or planning on any big racing, I've got a good schedule in place, I think, for 2023. A lot of good goals. All right. Okay, good. Now we're going to floss through the hamstring and through the hip. So the first thing we're going to do here is now the right leg is going to be straight, left leg is going to be straight up, and we're just going to work through that hamstring. So the foot's feeling good, just working through the knee a little bit. It's amazing that if you just straighten your elbows, keep your head back on the ground, you can just floss through that knee, reach through the heel, so when you get to the top, you're kind of pulling the toes towards the shin. Let's go 5 more of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, good, and 5, awesome. Same thing other side here. Let's just grab the hamstring, straighten the arms, pull the toes towards the shin, and gently do a little toggle of that ankle, and then start working through that lower leg. Remember, the harder you train and the more work you do and the more you ask of your body, the smaller the movements are going to get. And that's why mobility is so important in conjunction with training. So the goal is to train to get faster, make the speed come easier, push big watts at a lower heart rate. But as the body gets smaller and shorter and starting to adapt to the work and the workload, all of a sudden the work gets harder. So it's not that you won't get better, you won't get stronger, but the work is going to be harder. So mobility just creates the opportunity for easy speed. Okay, so now you need a longer band. So you can either use a band with handles or you can just use a little power band. I'm going to use my little power band today. And we're just going to do, put that band around the foot. We're going to control the band. So I've got my right foot and I've got my left hand. Okay, so opposite. Right foot, left hand. Right arm is out to the side. And we're gently going to let the hips roll. And we're controlling it with the band. If you don't have a band, go ahead and do it without the band, but you will get less range of motion. Because what I'm doing here is creating a safer range of motion, and the perception of safety comes from the band. So the central governor, the brain, allows that rotation to happen across the body. So you want that to go from straight up to straight across, and just be very gentle with that. Good. And good. If you can't get all the way to the ground, just be patient. Over time, like in the next few weeks, you will be able to get there. And that's just going to open the hip. So now we've got the left leg up, right hand grabs the band, and we're just gently going to go across. The first couple, don't feel like you need to get it all at once. Just take it little by little. 2, and you got to start to understand what is end range, right? So recognizing the body can change ranges of motion. Definitely getting some popping and cracking through the lumbar spine, and that's okay. It's built to rotate a little bit, just not a lot. It's not a powerful rotator. There we go. And we just start getting a little bit more from that hip every single time. Good. Let's go a couple more. Good. And good. All right. So power band is a really nice tool to have, for sure, for lots of different reasons. That's just one of them. All right, let's go back to the foam roller. I'll use my short foam roller really quick. We're working through the chest. So the first thing I want to do is get your foam roller and put your chest right on it. Sometimes people will do this on the wall. Sometimes they'll do it on the floor. It's kind of funny looking, but the bottom line is we're trying to cross fiber the skin on the sternum. So you can use the ground and just lay on it. And you just want to move around the sternum with the foam roller. Side to side, back to front. The second thing we want to do, so we want to always make sure that we've got that gliding feeling through the sternum and through the chest. So you can also do that with your hands if you want. The other one that you want to do is get the foam roller pointing right at your chin, and then it's coming out the backside. The arm is out to the side, and we're just going to work on the front part of the shoulder. And then you can turn your palm down, up, thumb goes down, and then rotates as well. And we just create a little more tension on the front side of the shoulder so that you can gently work through that. So same thing, other side. The foam roller faces right at your chin, so it's kind of on an angle. The hand, the thumb will go down, and then the back of the hand will face up. That puts that shoulder into internal rotation, and it just allows a little bit more intensity through the shoulder. If that's too much, just turn the palm up, and you're actually going to end up with the lat. So you might end up just putting the hand neutral there and work through the shoulder. If you can get through the rotation, work through the front part of the shoulder. And that's just going to open up this whole part of your chest. Okay, from right there, let's just take the foam roller and we're just going to take it down on full kneeling position. If you're not comfortable full kneeling, go ahead and stand up. We're just going to take that foam roller from the right hip and we're throwing it so the chest is going to face that way. And then when I throw it, the chest is going to face that way. So we're moving. Don't just do it with the arms. The whole rib cage. 1, 2. So here I show you my left shoulder. Here I show you my right shoulder. 3, 10 reps. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you've ever seen a runner, 9, just a beautiful pure runner, and you're like, I want to run like that. Like I want to run like Rinny, or I want to run like Tio. Then from the side, what you end up seeing is this beautiful hip extension to the back. So they're running here. And then there's this turn. And you're going to see their back from the side angle. And then they go the other way. And you're going to see their chest as they rotate through the thoracic spine. That T-spine is often ignored as a really big opportunity. Not only as a shock absorber, but as a power producer. 2, 3. So you want to do stuff that turns the whole ribs. 4. In swimming, you can't leave the shoulders to do all the rotating. We're rotating through the T-spine in the water to make sure that the shoulder can come through in a really safe range of motion. 9, 1 more, and 10. All right, good. Foam roller, away. All right, next one, we're going to go into the frog. So from the frog, you want to go from that full kneeling position, push your hips back onto your heels, and your hands are going to be out in front of you. And from right there, you're going to push your hips back as far as they will go. I can't get fully down on that. Some people can. You're going to reach your hands way out in front of you. So as far as they'll go. From there, you should have a stretch through the lat. Nice and easy. While we're here, let's take that left arm 45 degrees out to the side. So it was just out in front of my shoulder. Now it's a little bit more lateral. Take the other side and just push away. So hands are left and hips are going right. And then come back to the middle. And then we're going to go a little bit lateral with the right hand. And the left hand is going to go on top of it. And we're just going to pull away. And that is going to give you this big opening of this lat. And with mobility, because we're really not just after a big lat stretch, we're after all of the connective tissue that goes down the entire length of the side body. So a little bit of movement in that is just fine. Do you want to grip it and rip it? No. But if you can just find this nice movement of tissue that just kind of gently can rock and roll back and forth through ranges of motion, then you're going to be pretty happy. All right, next movement, we're going to go after the front side of the hips, and this is called the frog. And the frog, we push the hips back, right there, hands are forward, we're leaning back, and then we're just going to roll forward, and then we're dropping those hips forward and lifting the head, and then push the hips back. The frog right here. Knees are a little bit wide, so they're just outside of your hips. You start to feel that as you elevate your chin, that stretch can go right down into here, into the belly, and that's your psoas muscle. It's also rectus abdominis, and it's also a little bit of TVA, transverse. But the fascia that holds all the belly nice and safe, we want that to be long and strong, right? So, frog, let's go 5 of them. 1, drop into the hips, be gentle with your low back. 2, the low back will start to get more and more space the more we do this. 3, and both hips. 4, good. And 5. All right, from there, we're going to go right into half kneeling hip opener. And I call this one number 4. I'm pretty sure it's number 4. So 1, 2, and 3 all happen with the knee here. And then we take 4 out here. We do this one a lot because the adductor group just gets so tight with day-to-day living. So last time, and we're gonna mimic this again. We just want to push left knee over left toe and come right back. And you start to recognize here as well that the skin can get sticky, right? So as we do that left knee over left toe, let's take the heel of the hand and just work through the skin. 2, 3, 4. We're getting a little bit more heat there now. 5. Extra credit for 6. Okay, good. Same thing other side. Remember 1, 2, and 3 hip opener happen here. Number 4 is here. We're going to work through the quad, the skin. 1, 2, 3. Work a little bit of that adductor. 4, 5. 1 more. And 6. Let's go back to the other side. You've got 2 hands at chest height. We're going to push them away. So as the left knee goes this way, we're pushing this way. 1. And it's funny because you recognize what's happening. As I push away, I start to get more in my lower leg. Now you might not. This is a tight spot for me. So I know that if I'm going to use my massage gun later, or maybe hit the foam roller again, I'm going to go ahead and hit the spots that I feel. So right here, before I started this rotation, like when I go here, I don't feel it that much. But as soon as I start to add rotation, I definitely feel this tug on lower leg. 2, let's go 5 of those. 3, 4, keep the hands high. And 5, okay? Same thing other side. Now, I could feel something totally different on this side, so could you. So we're just gonna take that out, feel a little tug here. Let's add that little bit of rotation. Same thing actually. 1, wow, it really lights everything up. 2, adductors. 3, I think what it's telling me more than anything, my upper body needs a little bit more mobility, or it's gonna start affecting through my lower body. So if I am a runner, or if I'm even a thrower, if I went bowling later, anything that was tight up here would start to have a maybe not highly effective tension. It would create tension in my lower body where I might not want tension, right? So right here, as I reach here even harder with my right arm, and I start to move through my T-spine, I start to get a little more tightness in that adductor. Now, so I don't know, we always have to ask ourselves, is it tightness in the adductor or is it tightness in the thoracic spine? I'm going to guess, for me, it's going to be a little bit more tightness in the thoracic spine. So as you start to feel things, you start to evolve your daily mobility practice to go after what you're recognizing as tight. And recognizing there's no right answer. You're just making a pretty good guess. So right here, we're just going to go a little toggling, side to side. Good. And then some extensions. Good. Good. And a little more toggles. All right. Oh. Okay, from there, so since we're kind of recognizing that upper back is perhaps influencing the way my lower body is working, let's go into a lateral half kneeling. We'll work out of the frog position. So we're here again. We're in the lateral half kneeling. We're pushing the hips back. And now the left leg is out. So let's reach under with the left arm. 1. Push the hips back and reach under all at the same time. 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Right leg out. And we just push the hips back a couple times. Definitely get some adductor there, inner thigh. And we're just going to reach. 1, 2, 3. Hips are back and reaching under. 4. Good. And 5. All right. So mobility is that conscious movement in and out of ranges of motion that are effective and pretty targeted towards better movement in daily life. And if you move better in daily life, we're going to run better, bike better, swim better, hike better, ski better. So these mobility routines that we're starting to accumulate a pretty big library, they're going to become useful on a daily, weekly basis. So if you need more movement, you need movement every day. I think we're almost up at 80 episodes. So keep going back, use those episodes, keep staying moving well. We also need and want to reinforce this good mobility with a really effective, accessible strength program. So do I think you should go and start doing a bunch of really heavy weights and adding 4 or 5 hours a week of strength training in the gym? I don't think you need to. I think it's fun if you want to do that, but I don't think you need to. You just need to have good strategies. We talk a lot about lowest effective dose. So lowest effective dose is what do I minimally need to do to maintain my progress as an athlete? And that's what we're really, really after. So those of you that are with me on a weekly basis, thank you for everything that you've done for me in 2022, because the more you do for yourself, the more you do for me. Because I just love sharing everything I can possibly share with my community. So Happy New Year. I will see you next Monday. And I hope you have a really, really safe and happy week if you're with family, or if you're alone, hopefully you're really enjoying that as well. If not, seek out some good friends and get together. Peace out.